My name is Jeff Simone. My students call me Mr. Simone. I've been teaching for about 10 years in Connecticut. My degree is in illustration, and I'm certified to teach art K through 12. I began this whole pursuit of body painting after having a baby. Actually, we had a baby, and I decided to stay home and pursue the art. I started making T-shirts. And then from there, we decided to promote the shirts by doing a body painting event. It was actually body graffiti. And then from that one event, we kind of took off. Everybody wanted to see it again and see what I would come up with. And then we started getting gigs doing the body painting at nightclubs, and then it kind of grew from that. And then the shirts and the nightclub gigs. That was one aspect of what we were doing, and then I actually hooked up with my sister, who owned, her name is Margie Forrester, if anybody's familiar with her. She owns Fantastical Faces, and we were working in Connecticut, and then basically it was like the perfect team. I felt like it was like Brian and Nick Wolf, you know, like I got to hook up with my sister, and she taught me how to face paint, and then that's how I kind of built up the whole company with the face painting, the body painting, and the t-shirts. So that's kind of how I ended up doing the body painting and the face painting. I don't really tell the kids exactly. I show them the face painting. I actually did the face painting for like our school event, and they were like, "Oh my goodness, like we will never do it ourselves again." So you can see the difference. They saw the difference between, you know, them doing it and me doing it. I showed only a few kids exactly what we were doing. I showed them my T-shirts, and they were like, they really jumped into that. I thought it's more inspiring, I think, for them to see what I'm actually doing and the work I make, and try to motivate them to want to make work as well. So they've seen a body in my work. A lot of my work is body painting, so I don't really get into showing them, you know, that part of the work, because I don't want them to get the wrong idea. I got K through 8, so I have a real broad range of kids that I'm teaching. But it's more general art that I'm teaching in public schools. I think my style is really it's graphic. Like there's a lot of images, so I'm not so much about broad colors and strokes. I like trying to do illustrations. My degree is in illustration. I graduated from University of Hartford in 2001. And I'm really a comic book fan. A lot of my work, it covers comic book characters that I just was like, I finally have the chance to bring them to life. And with the body painting, I was like, what better place on earth to like bring these characters to life? Like, you know, I'm actually illustrating the real character, and then we take the pictures and then we put it together. So I'm kind of like composing illustrations with people now. Instead of just drawing, you know, I'm going to draw the character and throw them in this image. Now I'm actually making the character, and we're creating the whole illusion on the character, and then, you know, we put it together in an image. So it's kind of for me, I thought it was like the perfect another marriage between you know, sitting in your room and, you know, I'm making designs and I'm by myself, to creating designs and I'm with someone and we're interacting and we got photographers, and it just started, just all that interaction was just, for me, being an artist, it stimulated my whole senses, and I just was like, all right, let's just keep doing this, let's keep painting people and creating illustrations that way, rather than just, you know, drawing on paper. I'd rather make a friend with a person than the paper. Oh yeah, my first convention was the East Coast Convention in Manchester, Connecticut, and that was my sister was attending it, and I decided to go with her. So she actually came up. She was living in Waterbury at the time, and we both went, and it was a big moment, you know. Like I met Pasher, I met Mark Reed, and I met Sean Avram, and I met a few other artists, but for me, style-wise, like they were the people I connected with, because I really felt like what they were doing was the work I'm like aspiring to do, and how could I spin off it, you know? I like to be original as much as I can. Like, you get a lot of ideas from people, and I think that's what that's what great artists do. If you meet a great artist and they're just excited about their work and they're into what they're doing, then it's like the energy kind of travels. And I was like blown away by the work I saw, and just the fact that I actually got to meet them at these conventions was, I mean, you never get the chance to meet like a Salvador Dali, you know, and to actually shake like Salvador Dali's hand, you know, in this version of our, you know, world was like, it was amazing. So meeting Pasher and Mark Reed and, you know, some really top painters that were similar to me just was like, it was like, I was like, this is like heaven, you know. I mean, I don't know where else you could feel like this just seems to be the right place for me. You know, everything makes sense. The work we're doing, the work they do, and the fact that we're like still learning from each other, it was a good experience. And I think really if you watch the other video, then you'll know what my Midas brush is, and that's what Pasher gave me, and it was like, I kind of use that as my symbol of inspiration, you know. The Midas brush is about inspiring people, and I think that's what teaching really supposed to be. Like, you could put out fires and just kind of show people, oh, this is what you could do, but you could inspire people to be like, this is how you can make that great, you know, and this is how we could, you know, just excite you enough to paint and want to keep painting and paint the world, you know, because in the end, it's like we're just spreading positive energy with the passion that we have in this world. And I think that's what you give off when you're face painting, you know, and you got these kids in your chair, and they get that moment of excitement. And I think that moment when you show them the mirror and they're like, that moment right there, I think I've been living since I started face painting. So I have that face every day, like for real, am I really doing this? It's just amazing, you know? So I think that's really why I like teaching, and that moment moved me. That was 2 years ago, so I kind of ran with this whole thing ever since then. I was like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna go crazy with it. And I did like 100 paintings after that. My advice is to stay relaxed, you know, enjoy yourself, and you gotta do your own thing, you know, and eventually you could try to be like every other artist out there, but eventually, no matter what, you're gonna become your own artist, and your work it'll reflect your style, no matter what, because every artist has their own way of painting, and I think you definitely need to just be confident with what you're doing. They called me to do a class after the last FABAIC convention, and I did some work, and I just got some good feedback, and I just put myself out there, and I was like, if you need a painter, you know, need anybody who could help you, or you know, if you feel my work is strong, then please give me a call, and I'll keep doing my thing. And then one day, last week, the whole the Brian Wolf fundraiser, it came up, and it was an opportunity to come down. So she just called me last week. She's like, do you want to come down and do the fundraiser, the Brian Wolf Paint-a-thon for Brian Wolf? BrianWolf.com. What's it? HelpBrianWolf.com. If you got some money to donate, he would appreciate it. They called me, and I was like, whatever you need, I'll be there. I will drive down tomorrow if you think, you know, if you could use me. And bada bing, bada boom, I was here 2 days later.